Welcome to More Action, the podcast for entrepreneurs, business owners, and professionals. I'm your host, Sheley Brien, and together we have candid conversations with industry leaders to uncover valuable wisdom and lessons learned. My hope is you use these lessons to intentionally take more action in business and life. I hope you share and enjoy. All right, this episode is coming in hot after spring break, and you'll see the title of this episode was like my spring break struggle. And as a business owner, and previous like corporate career, other businesses, all of the things, this spring break was a little bit different. And I wanted to go through it with you guys because I feel like in the conversations that I've had is that there is this like pull on spring break, right? Totally detach, travel the world, stay home. You're still working. Your business is in growth mode. Your career is in growth mode and you're super focused. How do you manage it all? And I've really spent a little bit of time over the last day or so reflecting on why this spring break was different for me versus others. And I have over 2 decades, almost 2 decades working in corporate. Then probably another decade overlapping where I had the side hustle and then the business. And now we have our thriving construction company. So I've had like all these different things going on, all these different seasons. And I'm like, why was this spring break different? There were some things that were similar and some that were different. But in full transparency, there were days that were fantastic, but each day I struggled a little bit. And I struggled because I felt that pull or that pressure towards work and towards getting some things done. Yet I had set up my week to be present with my kids the entire time. And I don't want to say this is the right way or the wrong way. Here's my experience. And I think that this episode is all about sharing experience, this podcast is all about sharing experiences, actions to help the next in line. And so taking you back to last Monday, and even the previous month, I had set up this week. I knew this week was coming. We were not traveling this year. Reese had horse shows back-to-back weekends. Jax has gymnastics competition coming up. He's got regionals coming up in a few weeks. The business is busy. I knew that we weren't going to be traveling and I wanted to, set it up. So I started scheduling accordingly, right? Different collaborations, different meetings, different things I was setting up so I could have this week. That being said, I woke up that Monday of spring break and it was this weird light feeling because I was in like full gratitude. I was so excited for this week because I felt like I really planned intentionally on what actions I was going to do that week and what actions I was actually setting up very clear boundaries that I was not going to do that week. And this was just last week. So this is like hot, you guys. So whether this episode is like for those of you that maybe are reflecting after spring break right now and or about to jump into spring break or even summer break that's coming up as you're managing everything. Let's get back to it. Okay. So like I said, I set up this week. I was in full gratitude. I was like, holy cow, I can't believe this is here. I'm very excited about this week. I am not going to quote unquote work at the same level that I normally do. I'm also not driving as much. I drive a lot with the kids in different events and then job sites and meetings, all the different things. And I was like, okay, how, setting this up, being really intentional with it. Yet each day I woke up, I like felt this like pressure and I noticed this pull towards work. And if you've tuned into the show here or follow on social media, you know that I am really big about like my 3-2 list or 3 to-do list because I don't like having long to-do lists. I had to get away from the dopamine hits of just crossing stuff off that was like really useless and not moving things in my business. So my 3 things that I do every day are huge needle movers. They're time intensive. Most of the time, not all the time, but they're time intensive, but they're also like 3 big things that I know that we're doing. And so I started feeling the pressure because I was like, oh my gosh, I feel behind. I'm not getting this done. What am I doing? And I was very little on social. I think I got on stories on Instagram once during the week. I was on LinkedIn commenting a little bit, but I really intentionally wanted to pull back. I had podcast episodes still coming out. We're doing a huge marketing push, something very unique with our construction company. There's really cool collaboration opportunities that I have been working on and setting up and very excited about. So I had all these really big things. And I will tell you firsthand, and again, if you've been tuning in for a while, like you know this about me, and I know this is probably pretty similar to you too, listening in, is that I would like succumb to the pressure of work. I'm like, and I say pressure of work like, and succumb in like a negative way. I'm very excited about the things that we're doing. And I know you are too. And it was like, I just want to go work. It's exciting. It's fun right now. There's so much. And I would either change my schedule so that I could do those things at like, make the kids or have the kids just stay home and I just be able to work longer periods of time. And, or I would just stay up late. I would get up early. I would just make it happen. And I didn't let myself do that this time. Again, I was really intentional about this week. It was a struggle. Don't get me wrong. I wanted to go do the work. I wanted to stay up late, but I knew that we had like a busy next day. And there was one thing that I think really helped me stay committed to the actions that I had set in place so that I could have this spring break week with the kids. And it stems back. I did a full episode on this in episode number 107. So I definitely will link it in the notes, but I definitely go back to that one and take a listen. And that one was, what does success look like for you? I think that on social media, conversations, all of the things, there can be this like pedestal of what success is. Is it a dollar figure? Is it a certain celebrity? Is like status? Is it followers? Like, is it a growth number in your business? Like, what is your success? And I got really clear on that. I got really clear on that probably Q4 last year. And it's really been bringing it into all of the things that we are doing for our construction company. How we are going to build this construction company is all centered around the success. What is success for Chris and I? And so it's one of those things that once I got crystal clear on that, I could take the actions associated with that. And so each day I knew, okay, previous habits of Sheley would be just get the work done, do the work at all costs. Like, don't like cancel whatever I had planned for the day for the kids, just the work, I got to do the work. And I let myself feel that pressure, but I also referred back to the actions that I took to set me up for this week. I would look at my schedule and be like, oh, I have that on next week. I move that to next week. Oh, I already did this. This email is set to go out this time. This is on my schedule. I can handle this then. So I felt the pressure and I let myself feel it because it is excitement. I didn't want to like take that away from myself. Yet I had to refer back to the actions that I took that made me feel safe and comfortable and still in control of what was going on so that I could still stay present with my kids. And I also took actions like I left my laptop at home. I don't know about you guys, but you heard me say like I was very little on social. I left my laptop at home. When I leave, if I don't have, I always carry my laptop with me because just if I have a moment to work, I'm going to do it. I left it at home this week. I focused on what the kids wanted to do. I set up their week. I asked them questions before. And indirectly, that is clearly, without a doubt, tied to my success, my definition of success. So not only was I doing things for them, but it was also for me indirectly. And, we had an incredible week as far as like sleepovers, trampoline park, I We had lunch. I had special lunch dates with Jax, my son. I spent a lot of time with my daughter because we both ride horses together. And so I intentionally set up these times that we could do stuff. We went to the movies. Gosh, I mean, I let them each have one day to completely veg out at home. And they did it separately. And that was even better because they just had their own private time. And then I got to spend time with the other one. We still got in our day date lunch that Chris and I do every week. We didn't get the night one, but that's okay. We still had our day date. There were things that I set up intentionally in there. There were also other things like I took my son to the gym with me. He's about ready, he's a teenager, he's growing, all the stuff. He came to the gym with me. We worked out. I was able to run at home on the treadmill 4 days. So I didn't let my health goals slip away either. I kept those in the mix. And on those days that maybe we didn't go out to the movies till lunch, guess what I got to do? I got to work in the morning. So I had my times that I was able to get in the work on the important tasks throughout the week. Was it everything I wanted to get done? Abso-freaking-lutely not. However, it was the most important things. It almost put the pressure on me to make sure that I got the most important things done and complete out the door before moving on to things or letting myself get distracted. And so I feel like the struggle is always going to be there. Are you going to let yourself succumb to the struggle? Are you going to fall back into old habits? Are you going to take action to set yourself up for success while you're going through a new period? And that's what it really comes down to. And so this episode is for all of you right now, because this is something this was a new experience for me because of everything that I set up to go do. But I took that time previously to understand what success was for me. And so, no, we didn't travel. We didn't go do the big spring break thing. We did it our own way. I got to balance work and spending time with the kids. Oh my gosh, Reese and I were doing paint by numbers. That's like her new favorite thing. And I absolutely love it. They're way more creative than me. I need the numbers. But I woke up today. I'm recording this on the Monday after spring break. And I've reflected on this over the last, 24, 48 hours. Like, why was this one so different? And I woke up again in full gratitude because of the time that I invested in my family and in myself over this previous week. Spring break was a lot of fun. It was also just such an incredible period of growth. And I know now, as we are building a company, we need to have that planning. We need to have that set in place so that when we do travel, everything is taken care of. We have the right team in place. We have set up the right processes in place. We have clear lines of communication. Expectations are set. All of this that we just did on this spring break might seem like, oh yeah, no big deal. Okay, Sheley, you can tie this into so many other areas of life, whether it's your business goals, your career goals, your health goals, how you are going to set it up based upon your schedule and what you want to do. What is success for you? And so sharing this episode right now, I really invite you to truly understand, what does success look like for you? Truly understand what that is. Once you get clear on that, then you can shape your actions around it, regardless of what is coming up on your schedule, right? You have a spring break coming up. Summer break is coming up. Who knows? My kids have 3 half days and then a day off in a week. How are you going to manage that and still be able to get all the things done? And so doing that doesn't mean you're not going to struggle. So I would say, for me, I expected to struggle. I did. I expected myself to succumb, and I didn't let myself succumb to the work. I was like, nope, this is how I said it. So I knew that struggle was going to be there. I knew that pressure to get to work because I'm excited about the things that we're doing. And the last thing is to make sure that you always reassure yourself. If you take that time to intentionally set up maybe a week off for the kids, or maybe you have a surgery planned, or a time where you have to take care of a loved one, and you know that you have to kind of step away from direct work being your priority at the moment, make sure that when you take that, you're going to feel that pressure to go back to it. When you take the action to set it up, even if you do have it perfectly set, the team's in place, you're still going to want to take care of it. That's just what we do. But reassure yourself that you have set it up. Reassure yourself that you are good to go so that you can stay present with the family. You can stay present with the loved one. You can let yourself heal if you're getting, having some type of medical procedure. And so sharing my spring break struggle with you, I hope that you're able to pull this experience and use it for yourself. And with that, there's going to be more, because we have a lot going on as far as like growth in the company, things that we are doing, delegating, 10Xing, different opportunities that we are placing our kids in front of, as well as educational opportunities for myself too. It is all coming out on the show. And I just got to say, if you are like me and sometimes want to watch it, I invite you to hop over to YouTube, because over there, I'm actually sharing some different information than comes out on normal like Instagram or LinkedIn. And all of these episodes are over there. So if it hits home a little bit more, I invite you to come over. You can see I'm not Italian, but I do talk with my hands a lot. So you can invite you to come over there, laugh with me, make sure you comment, tell me where you're from, because I love connecting with everybody. YouTube, I am connecting globally. I am absolutely freaking loving it over there. So thank you so much. And I hope that this catches you before your spring break, or even after, sets you up for your summer break coming up with the kids.